Okay, everyone, let's compare minivans. It was a question posed to me twice by the same person. So I thought, well, I better get this together. And so I did some research. I want you to leave a comment, please, even if it's an emoji, and ask me a question. Also, if you have one, I will answer it, obviously. Subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and let's watch it all the way through. Let's go. Hi. Today is a good day. I was asked to compare minivans. Let's do a minivan comparison. Woo! Okay? Now, let's do a spoiler. Spoiler alert. I got my notes here. This is my teleprompter. Number one, let me just give a spoiler alert. Really, the number one is the Honda Odyssey. Next is Toyota Sienna. Next is the Chrysler Pacifica. It's the hybrid. Next is the Chrysler Voyeur. Next is the Kia Sedona, but only from up until what I have is I have a 2014. Next is the Chrysler Town & Country, and last is the Dodge Grand Caravan. Now let's find out why. Why? Everybody always wants to know why. Let's do a why. Let me get this lighting better. Lighting. Okay, the Odyssey, the Honda Odyssey. I knew that was number one before I checked it out. I see a lot of them in the newspaper, on Craigslist, and they're a little bit more expensive because they're so good. Honda did a good job with their Odysseys. Now, I've got different areas of rating, and one of them is repair and maintenance. It's moderately easy for a shop that knows Hondas. Some complexity in sliding doors, transmissions, and VCM, that variable cylinder management systems. Okay. Lifetime. How long do they last? How many miles? With good maintenance, many Odysseys reach 200 to 300,000 miles. Woo, okay. Now, used market availability. It's very common. They go fast. So, yeah, if you find one that's in good condition, good mileage, everything, yeah, and good price, go for it. Now, they have a strong name recognition, parts abundant, and many listed used. Now, let's do seat removals. It's flexibility. Some models allow removal or folding of middle third row seats down. Not always plug and play, but doable. But I'm going to tell you on all of these, how easy is seat removal. I had a mechanic one time tell me, he was a younger guy, but he said, look, he goes, any seats can be removed. You just need the right mechanic to get them out. Yeah, they all can be removed. Okay. And let's see. Among minivans, the Odyssey is often rated high in reliability and ease if it's maintained. Yeah, with any car, you have to change the oil. And what they recommend, what Scotty Kilmer recommends, we all know Scotty. He sounds like Joe Pesci, almost exactly. If you don't, Scotty Kilmer, he's on YouTube. He's pretty big. What he says is if you're using synthetic oil, it's every 5,000 miles. If you want to keep your engine running well, your car running well, synthetic oil, do it every 5,000 miles. Okay. Now, parts like transmission or VCM related issues can be expensive. Well, isn't that true of most vehicles? Next, we got the Toyota Sienna. Toyota parts are widely available, easier than many imports in many markets. That makes sense. Now, lifetime, how many miles? Many Siennas last over 200,000 with good care. Used market availability, they're common, especially older models. Now, we also have the hybrid Sienna. I didn't put that in here, but we also have the hybrid Sienna. And I don't think the seats are that easy to take out on that one. So I just thought I'd mention that. And these, what I'm listing is in used cars. Because even like the Kia, I mean, they don't make Kia Sedonas anymore. There's another name for them. But what I did, and that was just recent, what I did, I'm listing used. If you can afford a brand new minivan, you're going to have to rate your own on how they go, because most of us, I had to go with what most of us would want, and most of us can afford. If we're going to go into van life, we probably want a used one. That's my feeling. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. Okay, now, used market availability, they're common, especially older models. Seat removal, flexibility. The middle and rear seats can be removed. There are tutorials online on YouTube on how to remove them. Now, rated, they're pretty favorable. Toyota Siennas, I think we all know that too. Though some complaints about seat rail designs, or non-removable options depending on the trim. Yeah. Okay, let's go with Chrysler Pacifica. And I put that in here because it's an older hybrid. I think they were one of the first, I'm guessing. If I'm wrong, you can go ahead and correct me, but I believe that the Chrysler Pacifica was one of the first hybrid minivans. Okay, repair and maintenance. More complexity with that. I think it's probably because it's hybrid, especially in newer models with many electronic system features. Some reports of transmission, electrical, and head gasket issues. Lifetime, how many miles? Some make it past 150,000, but fewer reliably past 200,000 due to more failures and risk. Thumbs down? Yeah. Used market availability, reasonably available, especially later models, but less than Odysseys or Siennas. Seat removal, good flexibility. They stow and go seating system in many models. Let seats fold into the floor or be removed. Well, that's good to know. And more, the easiest to hardest, they're more challenging than simpler vans due to the electronics, the recalls, the variable reliability. Be pickier on the year and the model. If you really do want a Chrysler Pacifica, you'll have to do your own research on which models and years are the better ones. Let's do Chrysler Voyeur. Base is variant as Pacifica in later years. Okay. It's similar to the Pacifica in many respects, it says. Its simpler trims may have fewer bells and whistles. Lifetime miles, probably similar to the Pacifica, though with less stress if fewer features. Used market, they're less common. Seat removal, likely some mechanisms are shared with the Pacifica. And easiest to hardest, easier than full feature Pacifica, but still with some platform caveats. Yeah, caveat. I'm like, what? Caveats, yeah. Okay. Let's do the Kia Sedona, which is what I have. Listen to this one just briefly. I had a Kia Sedona 2006. Then this one, I had a lot of gasket problems with that, with the oil leaking in the engine. And then I bought this one, 2014 Kia Sedona. So in between that time, from the 6 and to the 14, I'm not kidding. Between those exactly are the same specs. Now, once you reach 2015, it's different. It's just so different. And before that, they were so different. So, yeah, or maybe they weren't even being made. But it was just by luck. And I bought both of mine on Craigslist. Oh, yes, I did, and I paid cash. Okay, let's go with Kia Sedona. Generally, moderate repair maintenance difficulty. Kia parts are common, though some components can be less robust long-term than Japanese rivals. Lifetime miles. Many Sedonas perform well into 150 to 200,000 range if maintained. Now, I will tell you, let me get comfy here. Let me move my leg here. My 2006, I was up to 195,000 miles. So it was par for the course for a Sedona to have like maybe my gaskets were leaking. That was my problem. And this one, I'm only at 126,000. Yeah, because I don't drive that much anymore. I learned my lesson. This is my home. I'm not going to just drive indiscriminately and not care and be willy-nilly all over the country back and forth and then lose my home again. No, I've seen what I need to see, and I'm going to just, live in my van and have fun in it. Okay. Used market availability, fairly common, though less premium. Reputation means more bargains, but sometimes more wear. This car is a restored title. That means it was in an accident. It was clipped in the front passenger. It's a restored title. But I'll tell you, a restored title nowadays, they have to go through rigid inspections before they can resell them. I'm so happy with this minivan. I really, really am. It's a 2014 Kia Sedona. Now, availability, they're fairly common, though less premium. Reputation means more bargains. I think I said that. C removal. Of those 2 years between 2006, and 2014, easy peasy. Rated from easiest to hardest, middle of the pack. Kia Sedonas are middle. Better value, but not as indestructible as Honda or Toyota. Some owners warn of electrical or transmission issues down the line. I've never had any of that go on. Yeah. Okay. Although my electrical on my door went bad this summer. I still haven't got it fixed. I can't. Or the windows, the electrical on the windows, the window switch that controlled these two windows and my passenger. It didn't affect my drivers, thank goodness, but I still need to get it dealt with. Okay, let's go on. Dodge Grand Caravan. Okay. Repair and maintenance, moderate. Basic parts are common, but known trouble spots include transmissions, electrical gremlins, gremlins in your electrical system, sliding door parts, and interior accessories. Yeah. Lifetime miles, some make it past 200,000 miles, it says, with good care, though many start having expensive issues after that. A lot of this is from Consumer Reports. Okay, availability, very common. The Grand Caravan, I see a lot of them. I see a lot of Nomads in Grand Caravans. That was sold widely and for many years. Lots of used listings. Seat removals, many models have stow and go. And good flexibility for cargo versus passengers. What I like to do is, personally, I want to get rid of my seats. If I'm not going to use them, I want to get rid of them. And if it does leave an open well, I'll just get a board and cover it. Maybe store something that I don't need for a very long time. Maybe like, it would be good to store in those stow and go places? Would be like maybe a survival stuff if the shit hits the fan. That way, if it does, you can get rid of the board, grab what you need, and go and get if you have to go on foot. Yeah, or if it just happens, your car, let's say an EMP, well, your car's not going to run. So you can get rid of that and you can get in there and get what you need in there. That's my feeling. I do have my third row seats out, and there's a well in there, but I found bins that fit it's a tight squeeze, but they do fit. 3 bins that fill it. And then I filled the top to bring it flush. Yeah, so I've got stuff stored back there, and that's what I've got stored back there, are like emergency stuff, bug out bag stuff. The pros are they're cheap to buy. These are the Dodge Caravans. They're cheap to buy, lots of aftermarket parts, and proven platform. Now the cons are the more risk of costly repairs. which is like transmission and electrical. Many people advise avoiding later years or certain problematic model years, okay? Now, let's do the Chrysler Town and Country. I'm not sure if they still make those, because I did see there's Chrysler, the Pacifica, and then the other one that they have. I do wanted to put this down here because Max has a Town and Country. Okay, Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth, okay. Repair and maintenance difficulty. Moderate to somewhat higher, depending on the year. I know Max's is he has an older model. I don't even know what the year is. But they do have maintenance issues, power sliding doors, electronics, and increased complexity in those areas. Okay, listen to this though. With good care, many reach 150 to 200,000 miles. Fewer reliability go much past that without larger repairs. Now, I know Max has worked a lot on his. I don't know how big the repairs were, but he's up to almost 300,000 miles on his Town and Country. I'm not kidding. It's Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going, yeah. They're relatively common, though being discontinued means fewer newer ones. So, okay, they are discontinued now, the Town and Country. Many Town and Country related models use stow and go, seating, or folding mechanisms. Yeah. Pros, the very flexible interiors, lots of variants over the years and known designs. The cons, as with any older van, sliding door, motors, electronics, wiring, worn mechanisms can be expensive. Earlier generations had more mechanical complexity than lower features. Okay, so let's just go over one more time. These are just bullet points here. The Honda Odyssey. Lifespan can be up to 300,000 miles. Widely available. The seats, removable. And overall top tier for long-term reliability. That was rated #1 in minivans, the Honda Odyssey. Let's just do a bullet point on the Toyota Sienna. They can be 250 to 300,000 plus with good care. Excellent availability on parts. Middle seats lift out easily in most trims. These are not the brand new ones. Not the hybrid one. And they ride a little firmer. Parts can be pricier than Honda though. They're nearly equal to Odyssey, bulletproof engine, and an all-wheel drive option. So, Honda Odyssey, then Toyota Sienna, but not a hybrid. I did not rate the hybrid. Okay, Chrysler Pacifica, because that's a little bit of an older model, and I thought I would include it just in case. Lifespan is 175 to 200,000 miles average. The parts are common, but they do have the electric and the tech-heavy systems, so that's expensive. Excellent stow and go. They have expensive repairs overall, and they have a fantastic interior design, but requires careful maintenance. That's the hybrid. Chrysler Pacifica is a hybrid. Okay, the newest non-hybrid of Chrysler is the Voyeur. I don't know if I recognize a Voyeur. They have 150 to 200,000 miles. They're easy to find repairs on, and the stow and go on most trims. They're simpler and cheaper than Pacificas. It's a solid choice if you want to maintain them well, changing the oil, getting things fixed when things go wrong. Kia Sedona. I'm only going to go 2006 to 2014. You can still find a lot of them. They're available. Reliability, they're good they're good in the price class. Okay, 175 to 200,000 miles. I've experienced that, and I say that's true. Okay, they're affordable, they're common, and Korean parts easy to get now. Yes, seats, I already said they're easy. Cons are heavier and worse on fuel economy. I don't know if I've experienced that. I don't know, but maybe so. Overall, it's a value van. They're great budget buy. Okay. Chrysler Town and Country. Max has went to almost 300,000 miles, but that just might be his year. It says on average it's 150 to 180,000. They're abundant parts, easy to find. The seats are stow and go. Seats fold flat on the floor. Yay! Well, that's it. I'm done. Yeah. Honda Odyssey, Toyota Sienna, Kia Sedona, the Pacifica, and the Voyeur. Then the Kia Sedona, the Town and Country, if you can still find one. The Town and Country, if you can still find one. And last, the Dodge Grand Caravan. So there you go. There is your rating of minivans. If you want a newer one, maybe later on down the road I would do one for a newer one. But most of us, if we're living in our vans, we're probably on a budget. So yeah. And you can find them in the newspaper. You can find them on Craigslist. You can find them in lots if you want to. Well, if you're going to pay more if they're on the lot. Okay? But, well, good luck. And, maybe even Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, something like that. Let me know, leave in comments where you think would be the best place to find a used minivan that you could just lay down some cash. Just lay down the cash and be done with it. Don't have payments. Yeah, that's always a good thing. Don't have payments. So I love you guys. And if you want to live in a minivan, of course, I've got How to Live in a Minivan. It's from A to C. It's like an encyclopedia for van life. It's got everything. So, we're dealing with everything. We're dealing with pets and mail and domicile and, getting rid of your stuff from the start, where you're thinking about it. So I've got it like from where you're thinking about it, all the way down to you're actually doing it. All the little intricacies, all the things that you need to know to make your life better. Gadgets, everything. How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Lee way, and it's on Amazon along with a lot of my books, okay? They're all on Amazon. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Okay, now this morning go look at it because somebody asked me about what would I choose? What would I choose? Would it be, should she pick a Class B RV or should she go minivan? So I gave my opinion and I talked about my thoughts on it. So that's this morning's. And then I'll have another one tomorrow morning, okay? I love you guys. Mwah. Good things are coming your way. They are. I love you.